So I'm going to come out right now and say that I haven't really played all too much Black Ops 2, to be completely honest, because I didn't actually play this game when it was released. I didn't play Call of Duty at all when this game came out, but I did get into it a couple of years after. I picked up Black Ops 2, probably about 2 years ago. I did play the campaign at one point over the years though. I played it like a year after it came out and I wasn't too keen on the campaign in Black Ops 2, but I did play the multiplayer and whatnot 2 years ago. I picked up the full game, you know, digital download of my Xbox 360, and I decided to buy all the DLC packs for Black Ops 2 because around then the game was still really active, especially with like the DLC maps and whatnot, because I'm not too sure, sorry about that, I'm not too sure why, but Black Ops 2 has always been, it feels like one of the most active CODs there's ever been. Still to this day, I'd say Black Ops 2 probably has a higher player count than Infinite Warfare, and that's not even a bad point there, that's probably a fair point. You know, the thing is, Black Ops 2, it feels like such a perfect game, and I'm going to say this right now, I know there's a lot of things that they were wrong in Black Ops 2, there's a lot of things that I disagree with personally in terms of game design and weapon balance and whatnot, but as it stands, I think Black Ops 2 is probably one of the most perfect Call of Duties all round there has ever been. Now I said all round because there is some aspects, as I said, that I'm not too keen on, but when it comes down to it, what we all agree on and what we like in a Call of Duty game, Black Ops 2 pretty much ticks all those boxes. It's got decent enough score streaks, it's got weapons that are good, most of the weapons are all balanced. There's a couple of them that aren't particularly good, but then again you've got other weapons that are good, so that's one of the things. Like, when it comes to weapon balance, it's a really fine line in Call of Duty. It's not really in other games, but to Call of Duty it really is. Because if you've got a weapon that kills in several tenths of a second too quickly, then it can go from feeling like a balanced weapon to feeling like it's a bit overpowered. You know, considering you've got some weapons and the amount of variables in a Call of Duty gunfight, like how somebody can be running fast hands and quick draw, which means that, you know, when you factor in latency and lag, you know, it seems that they never come out of the running animation and they're straight into ADS to gun you down in, you know, 0.3 seconds flat, and, you know, you're dead before you can even raise your weapon to aim at them, let alone fire. And it's like that in Call of Duty, you know, like balancing the weapons is a really tough thing to do. But when it comes to Black Ops 2, I feel like they did everything perfect in that game. Except for the snipers, of course. I mean, I was playing the game a couple of weeks ago, and it really doesn't matter what weapon you use. You can pretty much use them all pretty well, you know? That's the thing with Black Ops 2. There is no particularly OP weapon. I mean, sure, there's a couple of them that are head and shoulders above the rest, but there is a couple of weapons in that game that feel just perfectly balanced. Like, for example, the M27 feels absolutely spot on to me. Scar H feels perfect as well, and then you've got the AN-94, which does feel a little bit more on the melty side, but then again it is the final unlock for the assault rifle class, so I guess it should be a little bit better. But the thing is, man, Black Ops 2, it easily had some of the best maps in any Call of Duty game ever. Now don't get me wrong, I don't mind some Wasteland from Modern Warfare 2, but the thing is, when you get maps in other COD games like that, they border on being a little bit ridiculous. I mean, you look at Modern Warfare 2, some of the maps that were in that game, they were far too big, and a lot of the time they were just annoying in terms of the size. I mean, I'm not saying that I only want small to medium sized maps in Call of Duty, don't get me wrong, I don't mind having a big map every now and then. But the thing is, with Modern Warfare 2, it had a lot of stupid maps like Wasteland. There was that other DLC map that was like, I think, it was called Fuel. That was what it was called, Fuel. It was ridiculous, and I mean, this map Fuel is like 4 normal maps rolled into one. This map called Fuel is pretty much a map you could easily play a game of 16v16 Conquest on. You know, you could easily play 32 player Conquest on that map and it'd still feel like you had room to spare. And that's the thing, you know, COD, when it comes to map design, it's always been a bit weird, because it's like, what do you want? Clusterfuck maps like Shipment or Nuketown, or do you want big maps, or do you want medium-sized maps? And the thing is, Black Ops 2, in my opinion, struck the perfect balance of map size. And when you factor in the weapons and whatnot, it really ties into each map. You know, you've got some weapons that are better on some certain maps than they are on others, and I know it's just a Call of Duty game at the end of the day, so it's not like, oh well, you need to form strategies and tactics. but some weapons do perform well in some maps, more than others. For example, a weapon like the M27 will perform better on a map that's got long sightlines than, for example, the Scar H will. And that's something I quite like about Black Ops 2, you know, it feels like there is a real variety to the weapons that you use. And another thing as well is Black Ops 2 really pretty much did every single weapon class the right way. You know, it didn't feel like there was a single weapon class in that game, or a single kind of player that had bad weapons. You know, say for example, when you look at Advanced Warfare, the shotguns are inherently bad. I know I've put like several montages out with heavy usage of Advanced Warfare shotgun clips, but don't get me wrong, using a shotgun in Advanced Warfare is pretty much committing suicide in terms of your KD. You're going to go negative pretty much every single match. In fact, when you watch my Advanced Warfare shotgun gameplays, sure, I may have some amazing clips in there, and I may come out dropping like a 40 bomb or something, but you gotta remember, there is those 20 plus, almost 30 deaths that there is as well. You know, but then you look at Black Ops 2 and it's like every weapon class in the game is viable. Unlike Advanced Warfare or Black Ops 3 or Infinite Warfare, where you've got certain weapon classes that just feel kinda useless. Like, you look at Black Ops 2, the assault rifles are good, they're all viable. The SMGs are just as viable as the assault rifles. You've got the LMGs, which are all really good, and then you've got the snipers, which are all a little bit too good. And then you've got the shotguns as well, which are a little bit too good also. And then you've got all the secondaries, which are also all very balanced. And it's like, the thing is with Black Ops 2, man, they've got everything right. You know, it's pretty much a playground for every Call of Duty player ever. You know, because you've got good ARs, you've got good SMGs, good snipers, good shotguns. You've got good secondaries that you can rely on. You know, like when you need to pull out your pistol when you're halfway through reloading your LMG, you know, the Black Ops 2 pistols hold their own. You know, I've seen gameplay in some fucking montages with people using akimbo TAC 45s, they're that good. And that's the thing with Black Ops 2, man. I feel like Treyarch really caught lightning in a bottle with that game. I mean, there is so many things that are just great to that game, and I kind of feel bad that I never got to play this game back in the day. I mean, I'm going to be honest, it was probably just as frustrating as Black Ops 3 was, but I really do think Treyarch have the best multiplayer design team, in all honesty, and I think that Black Ops 2 is easily their masterpiece that they've ever, like the biggest masterpiece they've ever created. You know, it's kind of like their work of art. You know, you look at Black Ops 3 and it's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie, Black Ops 3 is decent. And then you've got Black Ops 1, which was good for its time, is debatable nowadays. But the thing is, Black Ops 2 is like a game, like a Call of Duty game for all the ages. I mean, like, people in 20 years time, like your kid in 20 years time, if he plays Call of Duty, if Call of Duty's still around, guaranteed he could probably go back and play CoD Black Ops 2, and if if he's not an elitist little snob that goes, ugh, the graphics are terrible. Yeah, I'll show you some bad graphics. How about these graphics? Yeah, that's the kind of graphics that I see you have a right to complain about, but Black Ops 2, nah. But like in 20 years time, when your kid's playing CoD, if the franchise is still around then, I can see them going back and playing Black Ops 2 and be like, you know what, that's a pretty solid game, that. And that's the thing, man. I don't think the series is ever going to be that good again. And that is something that really depresses me, because I really wish CoD would be like Black Ops 2 again, because everybody would enjoy the game a whole lot more if it was. I mean, the closest we're going to get to that ever again was Black Ops 3, and that's already past, been and gone. And then again, Black Ops 3, it wasn't spectacular. I mean, it was a pretty good game, but, well, Black Ops 2 is a lot better in my honest opinion. So, yeah, man, I kind of feel nostalgic about Black Ops 2. It's a fucking great game in my opinion. So many good things about that game. There was a couple of bad things as well, don't get me wrong. Like the quick scoping was a little bit over the fucking top, and the shotguns were also a little over the top. But, you know, that's just Treyarch. I mean, you've got to get used to Treyarch. Well, I suppose whenever you're playing the CoD games, you can't just really interchange. You can, but I feel like the best thing to do is just remember what developer's game you're playing. Like, you play an Infinity Ward game, and you roughly know what to expect. You play a Treyarch game, and you roughly know what to expect from a Treyarch game, which is overpowered secondaries, and overpowered shotguns, and head glitches in abundance. It's generally what you're used to whenever you play a Treyarch game, and I feel like Black Ops 2 like, I should wrap up the commentary now, but Black Ops 2, in my honest opinion, is one of the best CoD games. I don't even think they're ever going to have a CoD game that was or ever will be as good as Black Ops 2, unless they maybe remaster Black Ops 2, but then again, I'm not too sure if I'd actually want that, because, yeah, how Modern Warfare Remastered turned out, I'm not too sure I'd really want a Black Ops 2 remaster. And with that said, they're not going to do anything worthy of a remaster anyway. I mean, like, when you look at all these other games, they're using new engines. Like, if DICE were to go ahead and remaster Battlefield, fucking Bad Company 2 or Bad Company 1, they could totally do that because they're using a different engine, or like a way better version of that engine. But then you look at CoD and they're still using the Quake engine. I mean, realistically, the only thing that CoD can really do at this point is make the graphics look a little bit better. But even with that said, they're not improving the physics, they're not improving anything like that, so all they're essentially doing is putting a texture pack on the game, and that's realistically all it is. I mean, you look at Black Ops fucking 3, there is no improvement over World at War. Well, I mean, there is an improvement, but from like Modern Warfare 2 to Infinite Warfare, there is no improvement. I mean, like, after World at War, there was like quite a big change in the game engine. They did actually improve it. But for MW2 to Infinite Warfare, there is no fucking change at all, other than the graphics are a little bit better. But yeah, I'm just saying I wouldn't want a Black Ops 2 remaster anyway. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. It's been a long career, and feel free to leave your opinions in the comments below. What do you think? What CoD is your favourite? Tell me why. Like, please do explain to me why and what CoD you think is your favourite. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. It's been a long career, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.